Hello, students. Welcome to History for Tuesday, October 6th, 2020. The months are just slipping away from me. So we get to talk about something very near and dear to my heart. One, because my last name is Rome, although it's spelled wrong for this, but also because I love the city of Rome. I have been there 2 times, and it's a super interesting place to be. There's a lot of really awesome art and a lot of really cool architecture there. I'm not typically a person who's really interested in a lot of architecture stuff, but I will tell you, probably one of the most mind-blowing human accomplishments that I have ever seen is the Colosseum. And I've actually traveled quite a bit and seen a lot of different places, but the Colosseum is insane, especially in light of the fact that they created the Colosseum without technology like forklifts and electric machinery and screw guns and things like that. So it is super crazy and super interesting, and it is really a place I love. I went there the first time when I was 19, and one of my favorite moments. I still love the Lizzie McGuire movie. And right before I left, I went on a trip there with my friend, and we watched the Lizzie McGuire movie. And so we got to go to the Spanish Steps and to the Trevi Fountain. And in the thing with the Trevi Fountain is you're supposed to wish that you get to return to the Eternal City. That's what Rome is referred to as. And so we did that, and then we went and got gelato, and I got Nutella gelato, and it was one of the best things I've ever eaten. And I think it was just the whole experience of being in Rome and eating gelato, and it was just great. So I love Rome. Like I said, I love it because of the place, but I also love because, and I think I was the first person in my family, I was the first Rome to go to Rome, so that was really cool too. And then 3 years ago, my cousin and I went together. And so there were 2 Romes in Rome, and she's not a Rome anymore. She got married now, so that was a really great experience as well. So Rome they were super powerful. It was a teensy tiny city. So if you look in here, it is a city that is, or a town, a super small town, and it ended up being controlling the people in this town controlled over 2 million square miles, which is an insane amount of space. So they conquered and took over and controlled so many places. And at their peak, the Romans were probably the most powerful world domination that our society, or that our world has ever had, because they controlled more of any given space than probably anybody ever has at any one time. So they were in here. Rome was very multicultural. They had people of all different ethnicities. They had different skin colors all over the place. They had different beliefs. They had many different religions were represented there. It was a very, very diverse place. And then they also were crazy advanced in their technology that they had, in their art, in the different buildings that they built, and also they were pretty advanced in like the way of thinking that they had. They were one of the first places to have a lot of people getting to have input and thought into what was going on. And one of the big boss men who was in charge of most of it was Augustus Caesar. So Caesars were the guys that were in charge of Rome. The first one, or not the first one, but one of the first was Julius Caesar. So if you are familiar with different stories in the Bible, that name might be familiar to you. Otherwise, you would just know him as one of the first leaders of Rome. And then he adopted a son named Augustus Caesar, and that's who is depicted here. And this is the quote: "I found Rome a city of bricks, but left it a city of marble." So the question you guys are answering is, what does he mean? So if we break this apart, so if you think about bricks, there's a couple things to think about. One, they are not super expensive to make. Peasants used to make bricks, especially in this time. Bricks were extremely inexpensive to make because you would have slaves make them for you. And bricks at the time were not the same as the red brick we're really used to now. Bricks were really a combination of mud and like pieces of grass and things like that, dried grass. So they were fairly sturdy, but they were really like expertly crafted dirt clods. So they were super cheap, and they were something that was common for poor people. So he says he found Rome as a city of common poor people, trash stuff, and he left it marble. And so marble in our time is still very, very expensive. It is extremely strong. It can last for a really long time. And they used it was also very expensive then. They used it for sculptures, they used it in their buildings, and that is why a lot of this stuff is still in existence hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years later, because they used marble. So if you created something out of a dirt and leaf or dirt and grass combination, if rain, water, weather come, it's going to break down and crumble. If you make it out of marble, it's going to last a really long time. So Augustus Caesar meant, actually we'll say Caesar, I always forget, yeah it is. Augustus Caesar probably, because we don't know, meant that he found a poor, common city and turned it into a long-lasting, fancy, and let's say classy place that would be remembered. For a long time. Okay, so he made a big difference, and I think that that's really what he was saying. He was saying, when I got a hold of this, it was mediocre, very common, not super great, and by the time I left, it was like a mansion. It was so incredible. So, yeah, that's kind of it for the intro to Rome. Yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.